Hey yo, welcome back to my channel, The International Medic. You must be wondering how I got my first class degree after my wonderful A-level grades, and that's what I'll be going through today. I'll take you step by step and give you my tips and advice for getting the first. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so I'm going to start today's video by telling you a little story about one of my experiences. So it was back in A-level. It was like 2 or 3 months before my physics exam. Fun times, yeah. But anyway, my friend Raphael and I, we were like, you know what? Let's take this exam very seriously. We're gonna buy a whiteboard where we and markers and like a duster to like actually teach each other as we check our textbooks. So we would check our textbooks and then we would like explain answers on the board to make sure that because when we teach each other, we know that we're learning something. You learn a lot by explaining something to someone. It stays in your mind more. So that was the kind of the plan. And to be fair, that was a good plan. So we did that. A couple of months actually, I think. Day in, day out, we were learning and learning and learning. Then the exam day came. When I got into the exam hall, like 20 or 30 minutes into a 2-hour exam, I think someone was asking for like an extra paper, or I think someone was getting ready to submit. And I'm just like, this is a 2-hour exam. What is going on here? Like, I had to check my paper to make sure that am I even writing the right exam, because it's like everybody, like, I just felt so out of place. And the questions I was saying, good Lord, like I didn't know, my mind was doing some acrobatics, but it wasn't working. It wasn't clicking, you know. And it was just one of those exams that when you come out from the exam hall, you already know that that was not your best day. So basically, we both got out of the exam hall and he asked me, how was it? I was like, bro, you don't want to know. Trust me, you don't want to know. After that, I had low expectations for my physics grade, so it wasn't really that high. So I was just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. And then when the results came out, I was like, what? I had low expectations, but come on, like, what's that? Like, you know, when you give yourself lower expectations, but then when the results come out, it's even lower. That's exactly what happened to me. I was in shock. I was like, Lord of mercy, like, what's going on? Literally. So that was what happened. And then, like, that was just, it shocked me really, and it was a bit confusing. And you know what is funny? Both of us, when we were teaching each other, I'm sure we felt like some Einstein and Tesla. Like, we felt like we had invented a new way to know physics, and we were just like, we're on the right track here. So it's just quite funny with the grades that I got. Raphael and I, we were moving like the bootleg version of Einstein and Tesla. Moral of the story: do not be the bootleg version of Einstein and Tesla. Be the best version of yourself, because that's what matters. But yeah, it was a story, and it was an experience, and experiences like that actually shaped me. And that leads me on to my first tip of the day, which is have an effective revision technique. So yeah, after I failed and I was sad for a while, maybe a month or 2, after that period of time, I actually sat down and went to go and research. I'll try and find out better ways to study, because the way I was studying wasn't working. And the thing is that I had studied like that for a long time, for like a couple of years, and I kept on telling myself that if I work harder, I'll get that reward soon enough. Even though I was using the worst, in my opinion, the least effective method to study. So actually, after my A-levels, I sat down and went into researching, and I came across the legend Ali Abdaal and his YouTube channel, where he talked about spaced repetition and active recall. Active recall is the practice of retrieving information by giving yourself questions or asking yourself, basically giving yourself different tests over a period of time to help you recall information. And what that does is that it actually helps you with your memory. It improves your memory. And then if you add spaced repetition to that, spaced repetition is basically recalling information over a certain period of time. So Ali Abdal has done a full video on it, and then he also has a website that goes into detail. So I'll drop all of that in the description below, so please have a look out for it. And that brings me to tip number 2, which is keep track of your mental health. You can't really do much if you're not in the right mental state. Like if you're not in the right mental state before you go into an exam, even before you read, your effectiveness drops, and it's just not the best feeling in the world. So once in a while, take a day off, have your self-care day, treat yourself nice, have fun, and just get that steam off. So today there's going to be a daily challenge, and what I would like you to do is comment down below what you do to stay mentally stable at uni or any stage of your life, and also maybe drop one revision technique you would want to suggest for people watching this to also learn from and check and use as well. Tip number 3, basically I would say use studying apps like Anki app to facilitate your reading. So basically I'm going to give you a short and brief example of how I use the Anki app to actually recall information. I believe it's easier to see and understand what I'm trying to tell you by showing it to you. So let's start. So in the Anki app, this Anki Universal on Microsoft, in the Anki app, the first thing you see is a deck. So when you have different cards, because it is a flashcard app, you have a deck of cards. So I only created one card here just to show you an example. Let's go to the question, the one I have. So right here you see the question, name a player from Barcelona Football Club. And now I know the answer because I had written it down when I was writing down the flashcard. So basically at the front I write down the question, and then when I flip the card I see the answer. So right now I'm seeing the question. So now this is where active recall comes in. I'm trying to remember what the answer is, and from my memory the answer is Ansu Fati. That's the name of the football player. So now I click on show answer, and now when you look at this, it shows you that you have 3 options at the bottom right here. So if I got the answer, if I failed the answer, basically I'm going to retry it again in less than 1 minute by clicking here. If I got the answer reasonably quickly, I can click on good, and the next time I will see that certain flashcard will be 1 day from now. And then if I got the answer easily, next time I will see that flashcard will be 4 days from now. And that's a good example of spaced repetition as well, because you're recalling the information over a period of time, so it prevents you from forgetting that information totally. So this is just a quick way of memorizing using a flashcard. Okay, it's time for tip number 4, and basically that is a routine lasts longer than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Sometimes it goes as quickly as it comes. A routine has a structure and it lasts longer. When you follow a routine, regardless of how you feel, you still wake up to carry out that routine because it's part of your daily activity. It's what you do day in, day out, kind of like clockwork. Yeah, you can change your routine weekly or every month. It's up to you basically, but I suggest that we have a routine rather than just depend on when we are motivated to do certain things, because some of us haven't been motivated in the past like 2 months. Like, let me be honest, there were some times where I didn't do my routine, and that's okay, because you need to know when to have a break as well. Like I said, if you're mentally not in the right place, you won't get the best out of yourself, and that's very important. So have a routine, but know when to take breaks or know when to change your routine. Obviously everyone goes through different things in life, so it's not as easy as I'm making it sound, but if you can, it's something I would suggest because it would help. And that brings me to our final tip of the day, which is make sure you understand what you're reading, because if you do not understand what you're reading and you're just recalling information, it will be very confusing when you get into that exam hall. I'll give an example. Basically, I've been in situations where I'm writing an exam and I see like a certain keyword, and because I had memorized an answer for that certain question or type of question, I just regurgitated everything down on a piece of paper, and I failed it because I didn't take time to actually read the question and answer it properly. And also I didn't, because I had just copy and pasted, I never actually really understood what I was doing. So I wasn't even able to alter my answer to answer the question properly. So understanding is very, very important. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to know more about my university or know about my journey to medical school after failing my A-levels, click on one of the pop-up videos, like, subscribe, don't forget to comment, and have a lovely day. See you soon.